Hello everyone and welcome. Yes, my name is ArrowFyre and welcome to the first video of 2023, at least as far as my channel goes. And it's a landmark video. It's one I wanted to do for a while because as of today, as of yesterday as well, we have hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel and I cannot thank you all enough. Thank you so much. The subscriber count has been ramping up through the month of December, and I like to do the landmark videos for every landmark hit, whether that's on the 400 mark, 500. I was going to do something for 500, but no sooner did I hit it than I hit 600 and then 700, and I couldn't get a video out quick enough. And I know entirely where this has come from as well. Obviously, you fantastic, wonderful people, thank you so very much. But also this has come from a couple of shorts that I've put up, and I've mentioned these before, so it bears repeating again. Bear with me if you've heard this story already. I put up a short relating to the Rise of the Beast trailer for the upcoming Transformers movie that's coming out in June next year, and that has done really well. As of now, that's got 17,000 views on it. But then I also put up a reactive breakdown to the trailer for the Transformers video game that's coming out, Transformers Reactivate, and that has got over 130,000 views. Now, realistic enough to know that my channel has grown really as a result of these two shorts really catching fire, as well as other videos doing well as well, which is great, but I have not lost sight of that. Don't worry about that. But you're here now, you might as well stick around. This is going to be a bit of a super video. I've got a bit of everything in this. I want to cover a fair bit. It will have Transformers in it, but I also want to show a little bit about myself with you. I guess it's a bit of other insights into myself as a person and as a YouTuber and what's going on in this channel. But don't worry, there will be Transformers as well. Stick around for the end. So one thing I do want to shout out, and I've been meaning to do this since really the start of December, is for those of you who know, I reviewed the X-Transbots alternative paint scheme to Dragstrip, the 16R. It's based on the Formula 1 racing paint livery, and unfortunately it broke during transformation, and I covered this in the review. You can check it just above my head there. But I contacted the distributor, which was ShowZ, who I get a lot of my stuff through, and I said, look, I appreciate this isn't on you, but could you maybe get in touch with X-Transbots and see if there's anything you can do? And sure enough, they replied, said, leave it with us. It'll take some time, but leave it with us. And they did send a replacement part. Now, I haven't applied it. I will do. It's going to be a bit of fun to apply because it's right within the chest of the figure, so I'm going to have to do a bit of surgery on it. But I want to say a big thank you to ShowZ for doing that, and they didn't have to. X-Transbots didn't have to either. I mean, we know about the QC issues with them, but they've sent a replacement part. They didn't have to. They didn't charge me for it. Thank you very much. But sticking with the topic of thanks, I want to thank you all, and I want to thank some people who have really stuck with me on this channel and have been no small part to making this channel grow. Now, it's very easy to do this, to miss people off, and I apologise profusely if I have and you feel I've left you out. I'm so sorry if I have. I've tried to make a list and I'm going to try and work through it for the people who have really stuck with me for, what, nearly 3 years I've been doing this channel, but probably two and a three-quarter years. So for it to reach what it's reached and done what it's done, in no small part to the community that I'm a part of, I want to give people some shout outs, so bear with me. So first off, I want to give a shout out to BumbleJumper82. He stuck with me. He was one of the first people to really come across my channel. I saw him in the comments and I got chatting to the guy. He has his own channel, of course. I'll put all of these channels in the description below. It was great to see him, and I met him at TF Nation, and Ed's a wonderful guy. He stuck with me. He was one of the first, quickly followed by Borders Dude John, who's also an admin on the Facebook group TFYTC. He does a lot of good Transformer photography as well. Do check out his Instagram channel. Exilian XLR, I'm sure you come across Brad. Great guy, tremendous sense of humour. Love watching his videos, particularly around Cybertron stuff. He just comes alive with them. Of course, Transformers the show. They know entirely how I feel about them. I love them all so much, and they have been completely instrumental, all four of them, and five, including Rohan, to touting my channel, having me on the show as guests, doing segments. I talk to them all the time. They know that no words can really cover my gratitude towards them. I'm so very grateful. I wouldn't be here today without them. Rudy Suzu of Rudy's Science Fiction Experience, check out his channel. Rudy also did the Bots at Home, which looking back on it, we did appreciate, but we really should have appreciated it more. It was really doing a mini convention for YouTubers. It was like a festival, everyone had their times, and I was on there. Fairly new to the scene at the time, and he gave me a slot. And that was great. I loved doing that, and it was such a wholesome thing to do. It felt like a big event as well. Something I'd love to see again, to have a big agenda of YouTube stars with their little 15-20 minute videos in segments followed one by another. It's just so much content. It's wonderful. Drew, C4 Darkmain, I talked to Drew quite a bit, also recently helped set up the Row Aid video that we did on Transformers the show. Drew's a very clever man and has touted my channel a lot, has put it out on all forms of social media and got a lot of his family members involved to subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Drew. Thank you very, very much. Other people to include Pete Willis, Bisto, Toys R Us, to name but a few. You've all helped me in one form or another, be it with a comment, be it with a share, be it with a retweet, anything, or just meeting you in person. It's been great, and all of you combined, it's a great Transformers community that we all talk on the socials. And I really would stress that if you're not a part of this community and you want to get in, it's a very friendly community. Talk to people. Start talking with your interest of Transformers and you will be very eagerly accepted. That's what we are. We're Transformers fans. And we've all come together also doing YouTube. But it's great to see the community we built. It's very strong. But also, finally, I want to say thank you to my close friends and family who aren't necessarily in the Transformers community, but they know entirely what I do, and I really do love them for it. Even if they're not into Transformers and don't always know what I'm talking about, they still watch my videos, they still give it a thumbs up, and they still comment or give feedback, constructive, and I love it. I love that support, that home support as well, that you need for doing something like this, to stick with it. When you have those moments of, do I want to continue with this? Is this really going in the right direction for me? And you got the home life giving you that support when it's needed. And again, as much as the Transformer community has been so instrumental for me, my friends and family outside as well have been equally, if not more so, supportive. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about what I've got coming up in the month of January. So I've got a few things in mind. What you may have seen at the start as well, new intro. I'm going to slightly revamp the channel a little bit, but only slightly. I want to try and step up things a little bit more. So as such, I've got a review coming up fairly soon. I'm going to do the Wolf Feet, Darius, and the other one of Gang Toys Predaking. I didn't review these figures when they came as the 2-packs with Razor Claw and Monkey Pants, just see them there. So I'm going to do a review of the two of them side by side, as they are more or less the same figure with slightly different tweaks. Going to do that, and then that's going to be the Gang Toys set completely reviewed to date. As such, I should hopefully be getting, we all should be getting, the Hunger Rhino, the last component of Predaking, coming this month. There will be a review of that as well, and an episode of Look Out and Shout, which will very quickly be followed by a combination review of Predaking. Now, that's going to take a bit of time. That's going to take a bit of assembly, but that will be coming, and hopefully in January. We're also going to do an episode of The Other Side of the Matrix. I do these probably once a quarter. I've been meaning to do another one, so that's coming up. That's going to be a good fun one to do, and it's one of my what if videos if you're not familiar. But I've also got a new series debuting now. It's a bit similar to the Through the Looking Glass. Now, I've sort of parked that as a series. I haven't cancelled it, haven't got rid of it, and I've got something else in mind for that as well. But this is kind of born out of that. And it's a bit of a thought. It's a bit of a what if, but there is logic behind it. Stick with that. That'll be coming up soon. Okay, onto the music section of this. Well, sort of. So as you guys have known, in my videos before, I like to do the walk-on music for Transformers. For some of you who don't know, I am a keen musician, and I like to say if a Transformer had a walk-on music to a stage, an event where they have an entrance, what would their walk-on music be? Now, I tend to do 4 or 5 of these in one video, 30-second clip per character, and I do a cover of a particular song that fits the character. But with this video being potentially quite long, I've just picked the one character, and this time I've done the full song. So stick with it, please do watch it, spend a bit of time on it. I can tell you now, it is a band that I've covered before when I've done the previous videos, which is kind of my rule, not to repeat the same band again. but it's also my favourite band of all, so I couldn't not, sadly. Do watch it, and I do recommend that you listen to it on a pair of these, or some over-ear headphones, something where you really get the benefit to it. The bass comes through very nicely, if I do say so myself. So do watch that, and I do hope you enjoy it. Please do stick around and watch the full length of it. Okay, I want to do something a little bit different now, slightly away from Transformers-ish. I actually covered this when I was a guest on Transformers The Show recently. One big aspect of my life, for as long as I can remember, is actually computer games, video games. I started off, very much showing my age, on the Master System in something like 1990. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sega has always been my go-to. So I want to talk to you about some of the games that I've played recently and the ones I get the most enjoyment out of. Now, whilst I've been a hardcore gamer for a long time, I maybe am not the gamer I used to be. I certainly don't have the time to put in the hours I once did. But yet, Sega and Sonic has always been my start. I can still go back and play the old 2D scrollers. First level completed in 29 seconds, maybe 27 if I really push it. I'm a speedrunner. But other games I've always enjoyed throughout the years, of course, the standards. Grand Theft Auto, Resident Evil, GoldenEye on the N64, going back a bit. Dreamcast is still the best console ever made. But some of the games I've enjoyed recently, Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm currently going back through a playthrough of that. What a game that is. It's just so much to it, and you lose yourself in it with the wilderness running around in an outlaw America. Final Fantasy VII Remake, masterpiece of a game. Absolute stunning. I want to get, maybe is it Crisis Core, what they've redone? I'm tempted to pick up that, but I just want part 2. I've played through that a couple of times now. The free-flowing combat rather than turn-based works so well. The music is exceptional. It's just an excellent game. I can't recommend those 2 titles enough. But other games I go back to, I actually play quite a bit of Fortnite. I play with some of the guys in the Transformer community, and it's mindless fun. It's free, it's easy to jump in and out of, and they're the kind of games I like. I have actually been going back to some of the Command & Conquer games. I found Tiberian Sun on the PC, so I've been pretending it's 1999 all over again. That's great. Transformer games, of course, I love. Transformers Devastation, it's very much a G1's game, isn't it? Fall of Cybertron, War for Cybertron, still probably the best Transformer games ever made in terms of there was a story and their playability, and online as well. Call of Duty stuff, I left that behind. I lost a lot of my life to Call of Duty 4, the first Modern Warfare, where the playtimes went into days rather than hours. I left that. I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole again, but other games I play on the Switch, that's really good. I'm playing Don't Starve at the moment. I've also been playing Pokemon over Christmas, gone back into that. Pokemon Scarlet was bought for me as a Christmas present. That's alright, that's good fun. The frame rate on it is pretty poor, it has to be said. Whilst I like the open world aspect of it, the Switch is a very good console. I can handle this kind of stuff. But the frame rate is like less than 60 frames per second. It's very jittery, and really we're past that now. As technology, as advancements to get jittery, staggered movements, it doesn't look great. That's on Nintendo though, or that's on Game Freak, really. You need to tidy that up, that's not great. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an insight as to what some of my computer games hobbies are at the moment, and yeah, there's not too many other titles coming out. I'm a big fan of Tekken. Tekken 8 will be coming out, as well as the next instalment of Final Fantasy. That's probably going to mean I'm going to have to buy a PS5, but I have to play Tekken. I am a bit of a Tekken master. Okay, we're back onto the Transformer section of this show now, and I want to talk to you about something that I got over Christmas, my Christmas haul. Can't really call it a haul as such, but I did get a Transformer, and it's one that I've never really just got round to getting. It's not like I didn't want it, I just never got round to it, but I asked for it for Christmas, and I had my birthday in between Christmas and New Year as well. Yay, 1 year older. So what I got was from my good other half. She got me Takara masterpiece Inferno. Now, I didn't get him for a long time because I've got the original Inferno. Actually, I think I got him in a G2 colour scheme. And he's only just started to yellow on his ladder. Would you believe that? That was bought in something like 95, 94. So I got the masterpiece one, and he's brilliant. Is it dated? Maybe. It's very clean. It's very much when Takara were going for a clean G1 toon aesthetic. But this was a very good time for Takara in that the transformation was involved but not overcomplicated, a good challenge, and it cleans up really well. The ladder completely folds up into the back, which I'm trying to think by memory. I'm not sure the X-Transbot one does. I'd have to check the image, so I could be wrong, but it doesn't on this one. And this came out what, 2017, 2016 even? And it's good fun. It wasn't involved. Not like the MP52 Seeker for Skywarp. It's not one of those flappy origami transformations. It's simple, it's fun, and it stands quite tall. The ankles maybe are a little bit loose, but I really like him. I've got him alongside Grapple now, so I guess I'm unofficially working to a Season 1, Season 2 Autobot shelf, I suppose. But yeah, I really like him. He pops a lovely, lovely red. Yeah, so that was my Christmas haul. But saying that, I also got something else. Now, we're going to do a bit of an unboxing. Who doesn't love an unboxing? So this came from Bumble Jumper, and he got this for me for my birthday. He didn't have to, but he heard that I was particularly after something and said, look, it's your birthday coming up. I'm going to send you something, and bless him, he did. Now, unfortunately, he didn't get here on my birthday, but such as with strikes and or bank holidays around my birthday, there's not a lot you can do about that. But he sent it to me. Should we find out what it is? I think. Some of us might know what it is. Oh, bless him. He's even gone to the state of wrapping it. Birthday wrapping. Oh, he's such a... happy belated birthday, Arrow. Love, Bumble J. Oh, he's such a sweetheart. He really is. And it was great to see him at TF Nation when we were queuing up to check into the hotel. There he was. Our eyes clocked over the magical hallway. I'm getting a little bit sentimental now. And it was great to see him. Particularly, that was our first convention meetup, since lockdown, since COVID. And that was just great to see people for the first time. But he was one of the first. So, yeah. He's a lovely, lovely lad. Do check out his channel, and indeed all the channels that I've listed and mentioned. But he has sent me for my birthday Legacy Evolution Needle Nose. Lovely figure, lovely. Should we take him out of the box? Should we take a look? I think it's funny. We got no cardboard to cut out or plastic shelling, yet we seem to have more sellotape and incision points. So I feel like to get a figure that I could easily rip out of the box, I'm doing more work. I shouldn't be complaining, less plastic, yeah, fine, but, priorities. Good lord, there's another one here. Like, where does it end? There's the boy. God, it's wedged in there tight, isn't he? There he is, looking lovely. We'll try and get him into focus, but I'm having a bit of trouble just holding stuff up to the camera and getting it into focus, so I'll put some photos up instead. But I love how he looks, actually. He's got a lot of character to the face. I almost want to pop the head off as a headmaster. He's not a headmaster, do not do that. That's great. Thank you, Ed, thank you so much. Oh, ankle tilt. Wow. See, I am a Chug collector as well. It's not unheard of. Whilst I'm predominantly a masterpiece collector, I do dabble in Chug from time to time. And, that's what happens. Does it go down? No? Yeah, I suppose it would. No, you go up. That's better. That's more like it. Yeah, he's not dragging it on the floor now. He has got a bit of a backpack on him. I'll transform him up off screen, have a little play around with him. But I like him. I really do. He's got a lot of character to him for a dinky little figure. Very pleased with that. Thank you very much, Ed. You really didn't have to. So another thing, as I said before, and as you saw, I am a keen musician. Music is a big passion of my life, and I guess it's one thing that I wanted to talk about as well, because, I will talk about music and bands and music theory, almost, to a point that's incredibly boring. But my music's involved, as music is such a big part of my life, what you may or may not know is a lot of the music on my channel is done by myself. Mostly because, one, I have the ability to record stuff, and it's something I want to do more. I have got a bit of a PA system-ish. It's a bit small scale, but it's something I want to do a little bit more as to getting the sound levels right on this channel. But I do record a lot of stuff on my old Mac laptop, which is 2008. It's struggling to run, despite how much I've upgraded the RAM. It doesn't matter. But music in general, I guess... a lot of my music, whenever you see me play, I'm heavily influenced by bands like Muse. I'm a big Oasis fan, such is my era, such is the time. Other music that I'm particularly into, I always like the band Churches, got a ton of time for them. I like a bit of Metallica, of course. A lot of the bands you see me do in the other videos I have covered in this, but I'll listen to a lot of Queen. I grew up listening to a lot of the Beatles as well. Guns N' Roses, Feeder, a band called In Me, if ever you're a fan of them. Not many people know of them, but I didn't really like them. I've gone to see them before. Other bands like Placebo, Red Hot Chili Peppers. There's many other ones. Green Day, I was a big Linkin Park fan and Blink-182 fan back in the day. But yeah, there's a lot of my influences do come through in what I do. A lot of my style is influenced by Muse and or Oasis, maybe a bit of Chili Peppers, not an awful lot. I was once in a band a long time ago. I've been in a band a couple of times. You do nothing but argue, sadly. That's the horrible thing of it. But when it works, it really is fun. But it's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort. I played my first gig a long time ago. I never forget my second gig, actually. My parents came to see me. I was, 18, 19? And I was shaking like a leaf as soon as I saw my dad put a camera up in my face on stage. And I was just playing in a local pub nearby, and it was awkward. It was bad. We weren't great, but I'd only been playing a couple of years by then on guitar. I've now been playing guitar for what will be almost 20 years. That is a long time. But for those who don't know as well, I play piano as well as bass. I have played drums before. I did have an electronic drum kit which I had to part with. It's something I'd like to get back into, but it's got to be of a space, of a right thing to do. And I do stress, if you haven't watched it, go and watch the Christmas edition of Transformers the Show. We did the cover to Do They Know It's Christmas for Do They Row It's Christmas from Rohan as an intro segment that we all collabed together and did. I'll put a link to that as well just above my head. But that's the music that I did, that I recorded over. I had to borrow the drum beat for it, but I did the piano and the guitar and the bass for it. That was great to see. So yeah, that's something I like to do, something I want to do a little bit more of on my channel, trying to find a way to incorporate two of my biggest loves, being music and Transformers. But thank you for indulging me on that one. So we'll just round up now. You can find me, if you haven't found me already, on Facebook. I have a Facebook page up there for ArrowFyre, a Transformers YouTube channel, which I will paste also on other groups as well via that channel, but you can join it. I'll put all the links below. You will find me on Twitter at ArrowFyre. And also what I've started doing on Twitter is running somewhat daily polls, and it's just a bit of fun, giving a bit of options as to what people think. So it can be around Transformers lore or fandom, as to who you think is an important character, who do you think are related, who is a nemesis of whom, and then also things around legacy or masterpiece or collecting in general around Transformers. It's really great when some of these posts have been retweeted quite a bit and the responses go up. Now, I had one that was retweeted a few times and I got something like well over 150 responses, and it's great to see that many people having differences of opinion when you see the results that are provided. So I tend to provide 3 options on a poll and then another one to comment that you can put other comment and just type it below. It's great to see so many of you, so do stop by and check that out and give us a follow if you want to. I also do some posts on Instagram, not as much, but it's something that I've started to do. I don't regard myself as a Transformers photographer. There are many other people who are, and many other people who are much better than me, but it's something I've started doing here and there. I like to get sort of dynamic angles. I think I've kind of found that to be my niche of what I want my Instagram page to be. So that's something I like to do, and just finding the time to do it. I think I could do with a bigger light box though, because I did try it on the Geiger Power Dinobots and they're big boys. So yeah, that's something that you can also check out. And of course, you do know about this channel. I would love you to stick around and come and check us out every week. Do hit the subscribe button below and enable notifications to always on, because yeah, that bell's a thing, isn't it? But it'd be great to see you sticking around. Put something in the comments. I do see some names from back way when I started and they're still around, they still comment. It's great to see these people. Do subscribe and stick around to find out more content. And that's it. That is the landmark video to end all landmark videos. I was going to do one at 400, never got round to it. I was going to do one at 5 and then it went to 6, 7, 8, 900, and then we nudged 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2022. Very poetically, I would like to say. Again, thank you so very much for everything, all of the comments. It's just been great, and the community, how it bands together and how we all help each other out. Yes, I know my channel has taken off, maybe due to 2 shorts really just taking off and catching fire, but you've chosen to subscribe, you've chosen to watch it. I can only thank you enough. Do stick around. I will be trying to push this channel to the moon and back. We want it to grow. There will be more reviews, there will be more discussions, more about the upcoming Transformer games and movies and other parts of the franchise. Do hit the subscribe button. Do stick around to find out more. But thanks for watching. Happy New Year to you all. I will see you on the next one.